pulled the shirt on, scored the goals. Andy Campbell on the red.
This is the red.
And Andy, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, Daz. Yeah, buzzing to be back. What a week, another positive week.
Another great week for the Boro. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling there's a bit of a good feeling around at the moment for the Boro. We're getting players coming back. We had that good result at the weekend after starting so badly. Semi-final, second leg to come. There's a feel-good factor around the place.
Yeah, massively. And I hope it continues. Listen, football's football. It can come and bite you in the backside very quickly. You know what I mean? With a couple of games coming up this week, I just hope whatever happens, we can just keep that positivity, because there's still a long, long way to go this season. And if we do hit a few bumps in the road over the next, game or two, then let's see what happens.
I suppose we've got to start then, Andy, with the weekend's result. Coming off the back of the fantastic result against Chelsea, Boro were flying, and then went to Millwall. I mean, there was the whole traffic thing to start off with. Do you think that made a difference to the start of the game? And does that make a difference if your team coaches late or something's happening? You know, does that affect? Because they always say, "Oh, it must have affected the game." Because the first half hour, Boro were rubbish.
Yeah, preparation's key. I think it showed with how they set up and how they started that the preparation wasn't as normal, wasn't as good as what the boys expect. And listen, London traffic and traffic in general can be a nightmare. But the way they started the game wasn't good enough. You know, that you can use excuses. 15 minute kick-off delay to the game is by the by. You know, you still prepare. They'll have prepared properly the night before, the day of the game. So, you know what I mean, they'll have eaten at the same time. So their individual preparations will still be the same. And I know we spoke off air about how poor we start games, or poorer we start games. Not poor, but against Millwall, we were very lucky that we were still in the game. 1-0 down very early through an excellent goal. I thought that was a very good goal. Probably should have been 2 down, if not 3, from the corner, hit the crossbar. They had another couple of half chances, but we dug in, we grit our teeth, and I think once we got the equaliser from Engel, we never looked back. And I think that's a sign of a really, really good side, that you can go away from home in a very hostile place. I've been to the New Den a number of times, playing for Middlesbrough, playing for Cardiff, playing for other clubs, and it's one of the worst places I think I've endured as a footballer, in terms of hostile atmosphere. And you know, so you know what you're going to get. You know you're going to get nothing for you. Referees are probably going to be a little bit more intimidating off a really tough crowd, and I thought Millwall give as good as what they got. You know, I think that they showed high energy levels. They got stuck in, they won battles, and for the first 15-20 minutes we couldn't live with them.
Yeah. When just going back to that, about that intimidating crowd, when you are there and you know the crowd are baiting for you, how much does that affect you? Because you must hear it all, mustn't you? You must hear the you know, and I'm sure that they're not very nice comments that are thrown at you. How much does that affect you, or do you just put it out of your head?
No, listen, I think it's hard to ignore sometimes, you know. I think it's easier to ignore opposition crowd because you can find it funny and have a laugh about it or to it. It's worse when it's your own crowd, because I think you take it a little bit more personal. But yeah, it was the most intimidating place I've ever had to play football, and you get the comments when you're taking the corners worse, when you're taking the throw-ins worse, when you've got to go in close proximity with the crowd is it's quite daunting. And sometimes I can see when you're a young player it can be probably even worse, you know. And I think everything what could have gone wrong at the start of that game on Saturday went wrong. You know what I mean? The preparation for the game was poor. The start was poor. The warm-up wouldn't have been the same intensity. Getting ready, everything about it just started and carried on in the same way, in the same manner, unfortunately. But they turned it around. Michael obviously freshened things up. He picked a different side. He had a few other new players in personnel, which was really pleasing. He obviously hopefully rested Hayden Hackney after his match-winning performance against Chelsea.
Well, how surprised were you at that? Because I mean, we were looking at the team as it came out, and I just thought, hang on a second.
Yeah.
What you know, after the game he'd had, you know, making him club captain the week before, the Villa game, you know, I couldn't believe it, to be honest.
No, totally. Listen, and I'd like all the fans who were listening, all the Boro fans, to tell me if it was just me who was going mad. But at about 3:30 after they scored the first goal and we should have been 2-0 down, I was starting to think that was the worst decision of the season. It was going to come back and bite us on the backside. It was going to cost us. But the longer the game went on and we decided that he freshened it up in certain areas, and I thought Luke Ayling came in and did fantastic. I thought Aziz did a decent job without really setting the world on fire. Greenwood obviously came back in. All the moves and all the changes that he did make, I thought were really positive and did exactly what he wanted him to do. And I think moving forward with the injuries coming back, we've got a healthier bench in terms of age, which looks good. We've got different options, and I think we've had a lack of options, especially when we've been in games where we haven't been winning games or we needed to win games, and we've talked about these points being important. We've not had the options to change them on the bench, where at the weekend we did have the options to freshen up. When we're winning, it's easier. Because the good players to come on. When you've got Hayden to come on, you want a winner. And when you've got some other players to come on, you know what I mean, you falls and you know what I mean, come on and got his goal. So it's really pleasing, that we've got all these players that are now coming back at the right time. Everybody wants to play against the Chelseas of this world. Everyone wants to play towards the end of the season. So it's really good timing, so I think the future's hopefully getting a little bit brighter.